Expectations, the double-edged sword. Hi, my name is Candace Goldman, and now we're going to talk about expectations. So, how is it that expectations can be a double-edged sword? Well, depending on exactly what the expectation is, it can create excitement and energy for a session. That can be great, but too specific of an expectation or an uninformed expectation can bring severe limits or even disappointments to a quantum healing session. Let's go over a couple typical expectation scenarios from my own client experiences to illustrate. I remember a woman who came to see me who was fairly well known in the metaphysical community. She was a psychic and channel in her own right. This was her business and she was a professional. I remember her most vividly because she came with a very specific expectation to return to her home planet, gather with her cosmic family, and she wanted to then travel with them to a new dimension. While I cautioned her that her higher self and her subconscious might have other plans, she dismissed that idea outright all the way up to the beginning of our session. She was sure she knew exactly what would happen in the session, and it didn't work out for her that way. She actually entered into a very human life of a very poor and hungry, small human girl whose entire existence was focused on physical survival, finding enough to eat and a place to sleep that would keep her from freezing to death. Her higher self explained that she was shown this life to learn more humility and to remember that she chose to incarnate as a human, and she was neglecting her very human needs and expressions. Her higher self told her to get her head out of the clouds and get back into her human form and enjoy being human. She was told she focused far too much on her life and on these other star beings and these other realities. So this woman's expectations were to have this great cosmic adventure, learn more channeling magic and tools, and her higher self had much different plans. Her conscious mind was not at all happy to have this experience. But if you can look at it from the larger perspective, it was exactly what her inner wisdom wanted her to see. That it was time to nurture the human aspect of herself and remember she was living a life on planet Earth. This was a highly successful session in my opinion, but the client didn't really agree. She left angry because of her expectations, because she got what she needed and not what she wanted. Here is another expectation scenario that has a much different outcome. I had a gentleman from Iowa drive hundreds of miles to see me for an in-person session. He had never done anything like this before. He'd had a number of confounding relationships, health, and life path issues. And we talked about expectations, as I do with all of my clients. And he said, you know what? I've read stories and amazing accounts of quantum healing sessions, but I think that whatever happens in my session, I'm just going to expect that my session will be perfect for me, no matter what. He was wide open. He set no limits and required no specifics to be met. Perfect. In his session, he found himself awash with colored light energies swirling around him. And that was basically it. He would watch as one color after another came in and swirled around him. No story came up. No past life. No future life. No cosmic adventure. And when I asked for his healing team to come forth and explain what this experience was all about, all he could tell me was, I think they are simply saying to trust. Trust myself and trust that the answers will come. We tried for a while to see if we could have more information come forth, but really that was all that was given. Now this man was positively glowing when he sat up from his session, and I remembered the energy in the room. It was palpable, as it often is. Practitioners also benefit from this work too, just by connecting and facilitating. So he sat up and said, well, whatever that was, it felt great. maybe the answers will come. And that is how he left. A couple of days later, this man called me on the phone, and he was so excited he could barely get out the words. He began to tell me in detail what his drive back north to Iowa was like. It was, to say the least, magical. Every single one of his issues and challenges was addressed in the most astounding and creative ways along his drive home. From interactions with others, signs on the road, and even when a complete stranger walked up to him at a truck stop and said, "Excuse me, but I think I have a message for you." Now, that one really got his attention. And to this day, he thinks it was his guardian angel who took human form just to come and deliver that very specific message. Suffice it to say, he was thrilled. Okay, one more expectation that must be addressed is one of healing. Now, it is my belief and experience that all healing is self-healing. All healing. Now, it's unwise to have the expectation that a quantum healing practitioner is going to be the one who actually heals you. This just isn't how it works. Your facilitator is there to assist you and to help you discover how you can access your own healing potential. If your expectation is to have a session just to lay down and have someone else do something to heal you or to remove all of your problems from your life, you probably aren't going to be very happy with the result. I have a pretty popular article I wrote years ago I will link to under this video, and it's called "Fix Me, I'm Broken." It addresses this idea with a bit more depth. So to recap, it has been my experience that the very best sessions are the ones where both the client and the practitioner are flexible in all ways and aren't rigid. Not all incredible sessions make for good YouTube story material. Rigidity creates a lot of limitations and disappointments. Clients who have the best outcomes are open to just experiencing the consciousness exploration of a quantum healing session and realize that shifts and positive outcomes can come in an infinite number of ways. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.